This is Nerd News Cafe. Stir it up with Matt, Landon, and Justin.
Get ready to stir it up. It is round 39. We're so close to 40. We're so close. Didn't make it. So this is Matt.
This is Justin.
And I'm the king of nonsense, Landon Doan. I didn't get the memo we were doing funny voices.
This is a horror, Justin.
Okay. I'm going to be Batman if that's okay.
I'll be
I always wanted to be Batman.
I can do an array. This is what an array sounds like.
An array?
Yeah, because it's all the voices at the same time.
Oh. Simultaneous voice
Yeah, I
impressions.
choked on one.
I've heard that if you combine all voice impressions, it sounds like Morgan Freeman.
He is the convergence of all impressions.
He is the voice of God, Morgan Freeman.
And a different.
And actually, speaking of Morgan Freeman, I'm going to be mentioning him in my segment, Hot and Streaming. He was in a video game this week, you guys.
Nice.
Morgan Freeman's in a video game? Oh, yeah, he is. I saw, actually, there was lots of YouTube play to that. So that'll be exciting. I want to see how that pans out. And we have comics this week. Really? Yes.
We'll talk about some comics. We're going to talk some comics.
God. No.
We're going to do it.
I think you've
For a
ran
few
out of
minutes.
Fast and Furious movies is the problem.
I haven't watched them all yet, and we still need to go back because the last one we reviewed was 5, right? So we haven't talked 6. We got 6, 7, and 8 to go.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll get back to it.
That's
not today.
That's a delicious pie, I will
A
promise.
delicious pie.
So many movies.
Well, I don't really have anything, so we'll just have to expand on those.
Okay, let's do it then.
Great sell job.
Yep, sorry.
All right, let's just get right into Comic Book Corner. And this week, it is a very special episode of Comic Book Corner because, as we all know, Halloween is a-coming. It's just like winter. But next...
Like the train with Santa Claus, except worse.
It's like the silver bullet train that's
Silver
going to kill
bullet
us
train.
all.
Once again, we bring up the silver bullet. Coors Light,
coming.
please sponsor us.
We all live in fear of it.
Every day I wake up praying that the silver bullet train does not catch up to me. It's like It Follows. I just have to keep running. But this thing moves a lot faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, I haven't been on the
Spear,
hit list
so it's
yet.
not all bad. So.
You die buried under a train full of beer.
I was about to say, if you don't die, though, think of the benefits.
Yeah, I mean, if you make it through, that's true. If you can survive being hit by a silver bullet train, you do get to have a few beers afterwards. So.
Or if your neighbors take it head on and you just cruise right on over. What happened, guys?
Oh, no, this is terrible. This is mine. This is mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Mine. Daddy's going to get drunk.
I need alcohol to forget that my neighbor is dead.
Well, I want to look ahead to what came out. Well, it's not really ahead. It came out this week. For us, it's ahead because behind the scenes, this is Sunday. We're looking forward to this week's releases.
That's right.
But what's going to hit the shelves on the 25th, and that's what I really want to talk about today. So just to start out with, for a very, totally on-theme release, you can pick up a DC comic called House of Horror #1. It's a one-shot set in the DC universe, just in time for Halloween.
Nice.
Martha Kent fights for her life against a creature from a spacecraft that lands in front of her farmhouse. A young woman's possessed by the spirit of a murderous Amazon warrior. The last surviving member of the Justice League faces down a horror beyond imagining. All these and more are what happens when the most exciting new voices in contemporary horror fiction are paired with the talents of some of the greatest artists in DC. So it sounds like it's kind of going to be a little bit of like a Tales from the Crypty kind of book.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. I think that should be a lot of fun. So if you guys have a chance, go pick that one up. And then if you're, you might not be going out or pick up a bunch of them and hand those out to trick-or-treaters.
There you go. You would be the coolest house in the block.
Yeah,
On
that's
the
an
block.
even better idea.
You would probably get visited quite a few times.
Well, if you're given the same
Didn't I
book,
give
though.
you one?
Yeah.
You don't give them the same book. That's stupid. How are they supposed to trade later and fight?
No, you give them all that one. They're
No,
only getting that
no,
book.
No.
House of Horror. DC's Treehouse of Horror.
Whoops.
Yeah, Matt Groening's going to sue somebody's ass.
Oh, yeah.
So other DC comics coming out this week. There's a lot of Batman. This week for the Batman Metal series, Batman the Merciless comes out, #1. So that's one that you might want to grab. You've also got Detective Comics number 967, if we're staying with the Batman theme. Flash 33 comes out this week. That's been a good series so far if you've been keeping up with Flash. And I think he's one of those guys that has been picking up steam because he's got the nice series out there. People jumping on the Flash train.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And he's very front and center in the Justice League promo stuff as well.
Right. He's getting a lot of love. He's getting over. Hal Jordan's always needed a little boost. Hal Jordan. Did I just really do that?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
I was like, maybe I zoned out for 2 seconds too long, but I was like,
Third card pulled.
See, I don't even know is Barry Allen, Hal Jordan. What's the difference?
oh,
They're
that's
practically
not
the same
nice.
person.
I don't know. Teen Titans 13 comes out. Wonder Woman number 33. So DC's hitting the shelves pretty strong this week. A lot of good options. If we move on to Dynamite, this will go right into the Halloween theme. You can pick up Vampirella number 8. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten into the Vampirella series, but she's that lady
Everyone.
kind of like Elvira, but she walks around barely clothed. And so that's
Yeah, I was going to
And
say.
how is this different from Elvira?
well, Elvira at least wears like a dress, but the cleavage is always out on full display.
cleaves.
The cleaves.
Cleaves. Wow. The Cleaves.
IDW has Back to the Future number 25 hitting the shelves this week, and then Diablo House number 3. And I always like to push the independents, so definitely, you're going to pick up your DC, your Marvel, the heavy hitters, but give some love to the independent comics too, because there's a lot of good stuff out there, a lot of diamonds in the rough. DuckTales number 2. Speaking of,
Woo. Dang it, he beat me to it.
It's like a Pavlov's dog effect.
It is.
If somebody says DuckTales, you have to say woohoo.
you really do. Haunted Horror number 30, another good Halloween one, and Ghostbusters Answer the Call number 1 comes out this week from IDW, so you can start that series on Halloween. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 75. Image is putting out Black Magic number 9, Crosswind number 5. If I name any of these guys and they're things that you've either read or you've heard about, feel free to stop me and chime in. And then Saga, that's a huge series. People are really into the Saga thing. This is number 48. It's the final book on one of the story arcs in Saga. So that might not be a great one to start with, but if you were waiting for the wrap up, it's coming out. Marvel's putting out all new Wolverine number 26. America number 8. Daredevil number 28. Jean Grey.
I'm so glad America's finally getting its own comic series.
I know.
About time. Jeez.
It's only been around for almost 200 years.
At least.
Jean Grey is a series that I've been telling you guys about because I really like this, the young Jean Grey kind of running from her destiny story. So Jean Grey number 8 comes out this week. Captain Marvel, the Mighty Captain Marvel number 125. We got a Punisher book, number 17. Thanos, number 12. That's another series I've been following. Weapon X, number 10. And X-Men Blue, number 14. So a lot of really good stuff. Now, if we just want to speak specifically about kind of Halloween books, not necessarily coming out this week, but some pretty cool stuff. I've been reading that series Baby Teeth, which is kind of like a Damien Omen kind of book, but this woman has given birth to the Antichrist essentially, and she's trying to keep him alive, trying to keep him from getting captured by
Murdered.
those who would do him harm. That one's pretty crazy, and I would also recommend, if you haven't tried it out yet, Redneck is a really good series as well. So vampires are always fun, and this is an interesting take on vampires. I don't like glistening, glowy vampires, but I do like good, bloody, visceral vampire experience, and that's what Redneck is.
Let me throw another horror comic suggestion out there. We've previously mentioned several months ago Nailbiter. That is a very,
A
horror.
nasty one, yeah.
Yes, graphically gripping book, we'll call it. And also, I'm a big fan of the Lock and Key series. So that's more of a supernatural haunted house type series. So check those out for your Halloween reading.
There you go.
And talking on the indies, I love that you give love to the indies, and I think it's cool that it seems they've planned. Oh, cool! This is going to be dropping the week before Halloween. We're going to push all of this horror stuff out. I think that's great planning.
Oh, I got a couple I didn't mention because this is pretty good. So Archie's got a couple of comics coming out just in time for Halloween, but one of them, this one sounds perfect for Halloween. Jughead the Hunger, number 1, and in this series, Jughead becomes a werewolf.
Yes.
I know
Fitting
we've
our
always-
theme from
books are
last.
so fun.
We've always wanted that, right?
We now
Absolutely.
know that question is answered, that Jughead can become a werewolf now. We don't know about birds, snakes, or dogs.
Or dogs, but Jughead is a
Jughead
definite.
is a werewolf.
Honestly, that's worst case scenario because Jughead is one hungry mother.
He
shut
always
your mouth.
is. Yeah.
So,
Man, Riverdale is screwed.
pretty much. Been nice knowing you, Archie.
Well, they were before.
So that's really all. I don't want to take up too much time today. I just, I hadn't been down to the comic book store in a few weeks. Shop local. Go to your local comic book store. Pick up those physical copies. Make sure you're supporting your local businesses. And I say that while also saying go pick up the DC and Marvel comics and support big businesses, but independents as well.
Big businesses.
Independents as well.
Help your Barnes and Noble stay alive.
Yeah, don't go to Books A Million. Don't go to Barnes and Noble and buy your comics. Go to your local comic book shop. I'll tell you, you can go to Comixology.com and you can put in your shop. I mean your zip code, and you can do a shop locator, and that can help you find comic book stores. But go to Google and just say comics near me, and you'll get a lot of options too.
Unless
Shout
you
out
have
to
a lot of
school like
comedy shows near you.
Shout out to the Googs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. if you're like in L.A. or New York, it might give you go to the Comedy Store and see Hannibal Buress.
And he'll hand out books.
Although,
I'd be okay
I
with
would do
that, actually.
Yeah, that'd be
I would
okay.
actually probably prefer that to most comics out right now.
I heard him on another show review a movie, and it was hilarious.
He is so funny.
He
He's
is
a funny
hilarious.
dude. Hey, by the way, guys, I'm just going to give you a warning, Landon. It's a good thing you left town because you know who. Because you know.
I hear that a lot.
No,
What the hell do
seriously,
people think of me?
You know who's coming to town in a couple of months?
Santa.
Kevin Hart.
Really?
And I have to imagine that he picked Knoxville because we're on his list.
Come get me, Kevin. Come at me, bro. Meet me at the Walmart parking lot,
God.
section A.
I don't think I could beat Kevin Hart in a fight, but I would enjoy getting beat up by
You don't
Kevin
have
Hart.
to. Just get on top of a car. He can't reach you.
No, but he can hire people that can reach him.
That's
Oh,
true.
absolutely.
But if it was just a one-on-one match, you could do the thing where you put your hand on his forehead and just hold
Oh,
him back.
yeah.
Let him
Oh, yeah.
swing like
Just let him
underneath
come at
that
you.
you used to do to your little brother. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing.
Well, if he wasn't pissed at us, he is now. So welcome to Knoxville.
Come on,
Hart.
Kevin. Get on our forums, Kevin. We know who you are.
Come on, Kevin.
K Hart, and then it was like an emoji heart. I don't even know how you got that to work in the forums.
The little man.
Yeah, come sign up in the forums and yell at me like the rest of our forum users do.
Yeah, exactly. Landon gets no love. L gets no love.
Yeah, what the hell?
On
My
the
name
forums.
is an L.
Landon requests that you at least use some of the letters in his name besides the first one.
That is one letter in his name.
More. He wants more, though. More than one.
I can't believe Kevin Hart wasn't in The Little Man. That was a Marlon and Damon Wayans.
He
vehicle.
wasn't. He hadn't hit that stardom yet.
Maybe
Yeah, that
not.
is true.
That was back in 2006.
That's when the Wayans brothers were crushing it every film.
Well,
Every
Russian
film.
feels a little strong.
They wouldn't
Are you
have had
kidding?
to do the CGI like they did with Frodo and made him look small compared to people. They could have just put him in a little
And a
papoose,
diaper and stuff, yeah.
carried him around in the little baby
Huey
Bjorn.
kind of style.
Yeah, why not?
And Kevin Hart is going to
Vern Troyer,
Vern Troyer. Do you think that they just see if each other at the same size at some point? So it's like, hey, come over. Okay, just want to check.
Kevin Hart has to look up at Vern Troyer. Boom!
Boom, roasted. Boom, roasted.
All right. And with that shot at Kevin Hart, let's close up the comic book corner.
Close up shop.
We're
on
in a
Comic Book
cavern.
Corner. Nice.
I'm going to hide in the cave.
All right,
Come at me,
while
Kevin
we're
Hart.
hiding, might I suggest bringing a television and a current console? Because this week for Hot and Streamy, I played South Park, The Fractured Butthole.
Hey-o!
But who?
Can I say that title on this podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
Yes.
I've actually had to dance around that title a little bit. I've done a few radio hits, and knowing me, video games always gets brought up, so I just have to refer to it as the new South Park game because once again the title is South Park: The Fractured,
Butthole.
Hole.
Right. And you've had to dance around that on the radio? Can they not say butthole on the radio?
Surprisingly, no. It's a body part or a body orifice.
I didn't realize that.
That's weird.
Yeah. FCC regulations, they're weird. But I did dive into the newest game. This is a sequel to South Park: The Stick of Truth. I believe that came out in 2014. Was surprisingly one of the better RPGs I've played in a long time, and The Fractured Butthole also follows in that vein as well. It's a very good RPG game at its core. Instead of like a old school Final Fantasy feel that the Stick of Truth had, this is more of a tactics-based grid combat system, and I will say it is more complex than the system we got in Stick of Truth, but once it clicks, it is so much fun. The combat is very rewarding, and if you're a fan of the show, this is just more fan service. It honestly feels like I'm playing a season of the show. The amount of dialogue and story that has been put into this, it's amazing. Matt and Trey, they don't skimp when it comes to their content, and this is them doing it in spades. And like I said, fan service, if you've been a fan from season 1, there's going to be references that you're going to pick up. I mean, there's season 1, season 2, season 3 references in a show that's now in its 21st season. So the fact that they've been able to hold on to that type of continuity this long, and if you've been paying attention, you're rewarded for it. I really like that. The writing is legit funny. It made me laugh out loud several times, and not in the LOL sense, like the legit I laughed out loud belly laugh moments. It's a lot of fun. Much like the original, it is a single player, which I'm A-okay with, because single player experiences are kind of unicorns in video games these days, at least, big AAA titles. And much like the first one, this is a very mature title. You don't, fight zombie Nazi fetuses like you do in the first one, but there are still some very, okay, they went their moments. So 17 and up, it is a hard mature, but I'm really enjoying it. I beat the game, didn't complete everything, but I think my playtime came out to about 22 hours. So
That's
there
not bad.
is some,
No, that's not bad.
no, it really isn't bad. And it's like in this day and age, it's like I know everybody's like, oh, I want these 80 to 100 hour experiences for my games. It's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But if your story pays off an hour 75, I'm probably not going to get to that payoff. Let's just be real. We got stuff to do. We're adults, unfortunately.
Well, again, and we don't want every game to be identical. It's nice to have the variety. Some games, it's good to have like a little 20-hour session. And 20 hours is not a little anyway. That's going to take you like several sessions to get through. But I don't need every game to be a 100-hour experience. I just don't.
Exactly. And you said you want games to feel unique. In 2017, The Fractured Butthole really does feel unique compared to, every other game out there. So far, this is my game of the year.
Wow.
Highly recommend South Park: The Fractured Butthole. I will say I am a fan of South Park, so
sound kind of biased.
Yeah, exactly. I'm stone cold biased. My opinion can't be trusted. But if you are a fan of the show, you'll probably get more enjoyment out of it. If you're just some noob that knows of South Park, watched it, back in season 4 or whatever, but haven't kept up with it, there'll probably be some stuff lost on you. You won't get who this character is, or if you didn't play the Stick of Truth, there's going to be some stuff that you aren't going to pick up on, because this game literally does pick up after the Stick of Truth ends. So I like that.
I actually didn't realize it was supposed to build on the first.
Yeah, it absolutely does build on it. Like the very first beginning of The Fractured Butthole still kind of has the same aesthetics and systems that Stick of Truth had. So I like that. And then once you hit that superhero, it just boom takes off, and I really like it. And who knows? I mean, if they've already had a sequel to their first game, what's not to say they're not making a gaming trilogy? Yeah. But I don't know anything. I'm just speculating, so don't come and say that I've been promising.
No, you promised it. Mark it down. Landon has promised that this is a trilogy.
It's on a podcast. It must be true.
Yeah.
But go out, pick it up. Highly recommended. And they do have a season pass and DLC coming down the pike. The 2 pieces of DLC they've announced is Mintberry Crunch, which it being, the Coon and Friends, you have to have some Mintberry Crunch, and then Casa Bonita. So I'm looking forward to go into Casa Bonita. But highly recommend South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you really enjoyed it. And it's crazy. That's a huge statement that you're saying that is your game of the year. You're putting that up against Andromeda. You're putting that up against Friday the 13th, which I know you've really liked. But I know it's got its
Zelda.
issues. Zelda Breath of the Wild. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. that's remember, Zelda came out at the beginning of the year, and also Horizon Zero Dawn, fantastic game, came out right around the same time Zelda did. But I would still, the most fun experience I've had gaming this year is playing the South Park game. So that's my game of the year so far, and I really don't know if anything's going to change that. I do want to play the new Shadow of War, the follow-up to Shadow of Mordor, just because I really loved the Nemesis system, and it seems like they built on it. So I want to give that a shot before I declare, South Park: The Fractured Butthole is my game of the year. But it's like Destiny 2 was the most recent, like, big AAA game that came out that I put a ton of time into, still have putting a ton of time into, did a little rating, as a matter of fact, this weekend. But at the same time, if I had to say one or the other, I had more fun over this. I had more fun playing South Park than I did Destiny.
Well, all right.
But those are two different experiences, so, whatever.
It is. It's apples and oranges, right? But
Yeah.
at the same time, you're still playing them on a console. I think we can compare console games because you have to sit down and make a decision. What am I going to spend my time doing? And wow, that had an impact on me. That moved me, Landon. That was a moving statement.
Well, my words are powerful.
I know this is kind of departing from Hot and Streamy, but I just wanted to mention that Tyler Perry's Boo 2, A Medea Halloween, came out this past week, and it has a whopping 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
It still made like $25 million this weekend.
Oh, absolutely. If you put Tyler Perry's name in front of anything, the bare minimum you're going to make is about $15 million. So we are very proud to announce Tyler Perry's Nerd News Cafe going forward.
No crap.
I'd do
No
it.
crap.
I would do it. We'll talk nonstop
yeah.
Medea.
Oh, my lord.
I was just taking a look at the 2017 worldwide box office just to see where it landed. So it is up to $635 million. Well, if you round up, $636 million. And it was already the highest grossing R-rated film or R-rated horror movie of all time from a box office perspective. But man, it destroyed,
Oh, yeah. Well, it's no doubt. I mean, it's really well done. So.
What is the highest grossing movie at this point for the year?
Beauty and the Beast. 1.3 billion.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that movie did come out this year.
And it's interesting because a lot of these, if you look at them, they either did really well domestically or they did really well internationally. Beauty and the Beast did well internationally everywhere, so here and international. But like Fate of the Furious is number 2 on the list at 1.2 billion. $1 billion of that was international.
Wow.
Yeah, 200 million domestic, which is still a ton of money. But $1 billion.
I think they cater,
movies,
though. I think
yeah.
they cater to the outer line.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's kind of surprising that the Fast and the Furious, as big as a franchise it is, it only, and I say only in this situation, only made $220 million domestically. I would have thought that would have been much higher.
Yeah, but I mean, even so, like I know, like we were saying, only, but $225 million. That's a nice chunk of change domestically. There aren't a lot of movies that make that much domestically. The production budget for the movie, like if you're just looking domestic, was $250 million. So they didn't even make their production budget with domestic box office. But this isn't even factoring in DVD sales.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine
the secondary markets.
Yeah,
all that. So
I can't imagine what that is.
The third movie for 2017 so far is Despicable Me 3 at $1 billion. So, and that one did 760 internationally. So 263 domestic. It actually did better than Fate of the Furious.
That one surprises me because it seems like it came out and it went off. Like it was just in and out.
Every Despicable Me movie has absolutely destroyed. They've made a ton. Even the Minions movie too.
Yeah, I was going to say, just put Minions on something and it's going to sell. We're very proud to announce Tyler Perry's Minions.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me?
Buy Nerd News Cafe.
They'd be printing money.
Yeah, buy Nerd News Cafe.
But I'm happy to say, fourth on the list, Spider-Man: Homecoming, 879 million, 333 of which was domestic. So if you're looking domestic box office, it's the number 3 movie this year.
I wonder if it still has some markets it's not opening yet.
Oh, it's been out long enough that I feel
at
like
this
that's
point,
probably...
yeah,
I don't know.
It's out on DVD, so I'd imagine at this point it's already hit the markets it's coming out to.
Yeah.
I bet Tanzania doesn't have it.
What are you talking about? Tanzania loves Spider-Man.
Well, I'm just saying it takes a year for them to get anything.
Can you all guess? I'm going to cover it up. Can you guess
I wanna see.
what the number one movie in terms of domestic box office for 2017 has been?
It?
Nope, not it.
For domestic?
It did 320, so it's up there. But
I'm trying to think of what's come out this year that people
Right
would have been
behind
like, I'm good, I cannot see it.
when I say it, you're going to be like, oh, I should have get. Well, okay. I say this is number one. I wasn't factoring in Beauty and the Beast. So it's number two. Sorry. Number two.
That's okay.
Behind
Beauty and the Beast, I get. It's
Beauty
a
and
good
the
movie.
Beast.
Got it. Nailed it.
Got it. Dang it. Beat me to it.
It made $412.5 million domestic.
I don't want to give up here.
It made
I feel like it's
860
eluding me right now.
Wonder Woman?
Yeah, I'll go with Wonder Woman.
Yep,
F
it was Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I was about to say, it seems like, well, the whole push behind it was the definitely not Pirates.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman was good. I think I see some of the things that people are talking about with the whole Chris Pine thing too, though.
production budget for Wonder Woman was $150 million, and they made $817.
That's a pretty good return on your investment.
That's how it's done, my
Yeet.
friends.
Unless you're Paranormal Activity, and then it's just you're swimming in the money.
Yeah, the production budget for Paranormal Activity was $35, and then they made $1 billion. So
$1 billion.
good on them.
Yep, home movie style.
That's like Blair Witch, man. The production budget for Blair Witch was like $50,000.
And the funny part is, in the budget for Blair Witch, I remember them saying most of it had to go to buying the rights to the Gilligan's Island theme song because some idiot started humming it.
Oh,
That's pretty
dummies.
awesome.
I will say this: the Paranormal Activity. If you drop the whatever that one was, The Damned or whatever, I couldn't watch it. But the first one, the second one, and the third one, as a trilogy, is a good story. I think a good horror story for an entity that you have no idea what it is.
I only saw the first one.
Watch. I recommend everybody out there watch the second one and the fourth one. I'm telling you, there are some goofy stuff in it, and
I
these
watched
people
the
live
second
in
one. It stopped being a Blair Witch movie in
telling
the
you.
second one.
because it's basically about a demon. I mean,
Wait. Sorry, I got lost. I thought we were talking about Paranormal Activity.
that's what I was talking about.
Okay, Landon went to
Oh
Blair
no,
Witch.
Blair Witch. Ooh,
Blair Witch Book of
the
Shadows.
second one.
I was-
ugh.
Blair
Oh
Witch
God.
Book of Shadows is terrible.
Yeah,
Yes,
gross.
it is. Okay.
It's Book of Shadows is 90s. Like when you watch that movie, you're like, oh, this is the 90s and how they made movies. This is like rock, and we got like, the goth chick, and then you've
Everybody's
got
decked out in Jinkos.
absolutely. There is so much Jinkos in this. They should have been a sponsor of it. Book of Shadows, Jinkos.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal
though.
Activity 1,
I've only
2,
seen the
and
first
watch
one.
4. It goes full circle and completes everything for you, and it is horrifying in what is happening, really, to me. I like it. It's about a demon.
Is it? Oh, I was going to say, was it aliens all along?
It was
'Cause
not
that will
aliens,
piss me off.
thank God.
It's
No,
always aliens.
it was a demon, and it has witches, it has demons, it has ghost effects, and Xbox. It has an Xbox in
Don't
it.
take me to a
And
movie.
Xbox.
If you see the second one, it has an Xbox. They use the Kinect, and they turn on the
Oh yeah, the tracking.
they
so
turn on
that-
the
yeah.
laser tracking that you can see on a night vision camera. You can see this thing moving around through the dots. It's hilarious. I was like, well, there's an Xbox selling
They
point.
do that.
You can find ghosts.
They do that on the. I like watching Ghost Adventures,
Yeah. Oh my.
and they use the Xbox
You know what?
tracking on it.
I'm glad you brought up Ghost Adventures. I would love to roast Ghost Adventures.
Oh, okay. Will that be your roast?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just go with it. If you've ever seen Ghost Adventures, what a show! It is the most. It is the. They need to call it Ghost Bro Adventures because everybody's jacked. Everybody's like, whoa.
They're all. They wear inflicted shirts.
Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah, they do. Inflicted and what was the other one that was really big? I probably own 2 of them. I
Cat
can't
Dog's
remember
big right
what the
now.
other whatever. Insert Buckle apparel.
yeah, Buckle. They shop at Buckle.
Oh, they own Buckle. But they go around everywhere. They never go anywhere and not record something, not see
They
something on the
record
camera.
everywhere,
I
yeah.
mean, it's like these are the luckiest ghost hunters you will ever find in your life. They don't have one brain cell between them. They are the dumbest dumb. I mean, I feel like it's a sitcom every time I watch it.
It's funny.
It is so horrifying. I'm like, because you watch, like, ghost hunters will, like, legitimately try their best to make you think that they found something when there's some guy throwing, pans downstairs or something. Because they got busted for that, by the way, on a live show.
Oh, yeah?
Ghost hunters, yeah, they sure did.
Oh,
they really?
The Ghost Hunters show?
Yeah, they did a live show, and they got straight up busted for people doing stuff. They had a dog, and that was the stupidest idea, was to have a dog.
I know.
Try to
I
sniff
remember
out
them
the
bringing
and
a
it was
dog.
barking at people behind doors, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know what that was." Yeah, of course you don't. I think 2 of them retired soon thereafter. But Ghost
Yes,
Adventures
retired.
retired. Yeah, and let me get out of the public eye is what that is. But yeah, Ghost Adventures. Jesus help me. They are awful.
I love them.
You love them because they're awful. They are awful. They will try to go into like a Denny's and say it's haunted. Oh, did you hear that? I heard the ghost of Melba. No, you didn't. There was a guy going.
So the main guy is Zach Bagans.
I'm so glad he has a name, Zach Bagans.
Lead investigator. He's been quote unquote possessed on multiple
Yeah, he
episodes.
has. Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. You know what
What
my
are the
favorite?
chances the lead investigator of a television show has been not just possessed multiple
times.
Multiple times.
Multiple
Oh, yeah.
times.
I can't tell you how many times they've crawled in somewhere. And let me get to the very best point of why I hate this show. They do the triple take. They're like, record something. He's like, did you hear that? Did you hear that?
They do
One
that.
more time. Did you hear that? I'm like, they do it every time. I'm like, half their show is repeat.
Well, so one of the things that does irritate me about that is when they catch a EVP. I'm doing air quotes again. When
big
they
air quotes.
When they catch an EVP, they always put on the like a subtitle what they think it says, and I'm like, I wish they didn't do that because it never sounds to me like that, and I would much rather hear it and try to figure out what I think it says.
That's what I've always enjoyed on some of the other shows. At least they give you the opportunity to hear it. And then after they play it like a couple more times for whoever, they'll say, this is what we thought it said. But on their show, it is immediate because it's actually what they said in the background.
They're like, this is what the ghost said in response to our question, what is your favorite scary movie? And it said, I really like the Halloween trilogy.
But they put a voice modulator. And it's like, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
And it really just
you hear
sounded
that?
like something like falling off a wall.
Oh yeah, it's such trash garbage. My favorite episode of the whole thing, and I hate watch that show a lot, but he was walking through some point around the grounds of something that was haunted. He slips and busts his ass. Zach begging.
He's fallen a few
He
times.
fell down, and I horse laughed at that. I was like, oh, can we repeat that?
Yeah.
And they didn't.
There was one time where he busted and they did show it several times.
Oh yeah, that should be the whole show. He is the goddamn Don Knotts
Of ghost
hunting. Yeah, he is the ghost of Mr. Chicken, Don Knotts of ghost hunting. It is awful. He's like, there's a painting bleeding. Oh God, there's noises. Let me run out. And they're jacked to the max. I think they're doing push-ups between shots and they've probably got the Hugh Jackman workout where when the camera's off, they're pumping iron.
One thing that tickles me is Aaron, who is their tech guy. He's usually the guy behind the camera. He really is a chicken, and so they'll send him into places that are supposed to have a lot of activity and make him sit in there. They lock him in the dark by himself, and he gets so scared. Like that cracks me up.
That's TV. That's
Yeah.
actually probably the better part of the show. I haven't seen this segment.
Yeah.
I've probably enjoyed this segment
It makes
only.
me laugh.
Yeah. This is great. This is what but there again, it's three bros throwing some guy that does not want to do this into a situation. They might as well be locking him in a locker between classes.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Giving him a swirly in the breaks.
Nerds. I mean, if they could bring the guy who played Ogre on here, it would be the trifecta of fun. Just drop one of the other guys out.
entering Ogre into way more things. I think
Oh,
that
absolutely.
would make a lot of properties a whole lot better. Like Frozen, throw Ogre in there, just
Oh,
call
yeah.
Elsa a nerd. I'd be okay with that.
That and a Kool-Aid Man smash. Like, I would love to see, like, somebody come in, like, just boom through walls. Kool-Aid! Oh, it's just John. But yeah, this show is trash upon trash. It is I don't even know how they keep renewing it. It must be because people like me hate watch it, and you watch it for comedy. I mean, there is nothing about it that says, yeah. Is it a sci-fi show?
I think it's on Travel.
Oh, of course it's on Travel. Never mind. I know why it keeps getting renewed. They don't have Rich and Famous anymore.
We watched it on Hulu, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's a Hulu exclusive.
But I think it's Travel. Because Ghost Hunters was Sci-Fi.
Ghost Hunters was Sci-Fi. And then Ghost Hunters International is just filth. Like, I hate everybody
like
on
Ghost
there.
Hunters
I
International.
like where they go. Like, I love their locations.
They go to castles and stuff.
But
and
it's
that's
like
pretty
sending
cool.
the people I hate to places I love.
But so speaking of, let's talk a little bit about like Halloween.
Let's just trash 'em all.
Halloween traditions, because you mentioned their live show. So
Yeah.
Ghost Hunters every year used to do like an all night live investigation on Halloween, which
I remember that.
It was kind of fun to put that on, and nothing ever happened. But it was fun to put it on and just see them walking around with their little,
the anticipation of it, I think, is what really sold it. It's like, could something happen?
Like the night vision, and they'd have static cams they'd show you just and one thing was cool is on the web you could go on to their website.
Yes.
And you could pick a camera, and if you saw something, you could be like, hey, something just happened in this room, and they would show it like on the TV. So that was pretty neat.
That is cool. Very interactive.
Yeah, and I kind of miss that. They don't do that anymore. But I like that it used to be VH1 would stream for like 24 hours Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my story from last year was we own Rocky Horror Picture Show, so we put it on Halloween. We had it playing, and it was about time for trick-or-treaters to come out. So the neighbor, their daughter, very small girl, she's like 5 years old, is running around outside in the front yard, and she comes over, and we had paused it because we were outside setting up our candy station and chairs, and so she's looking through the storm door, our glass door, and she sees the TV, and she goes, "You have naked people on your TV." And I was like, oh, God, she's going to run home and tell her parents we have naked people on our TV.
That's hilarious.
We didn't hear anything else about it, thank goodness, but I was like, yep.
I was going to say that would probably make the next HOA meeting a little awkward.
Yeah.
They're already awkward.
But, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. HOAs are the worst.
They are the worst.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's fun. I like to, so for Friday the 13th, of course, we watched a bunch of Friday the 13th movies, as you did, Landon. But on Halloween, we pull out, we'll pull out all kinds of classics. And it's nice because sometimes the whole movie will be on YouTube if you don't own it. So we've watched a few that way. Like last year, we watched Halloween on YouTube because the whole thing was there.
That's pretty cool. I'm kind of surprised that entire movie's on YouTube, though.
Yeah, sometimes you have to find it. It's like piecemealed. It'll be 30 minutes at a time or something.
Yeah. There's a lot of them, though, that they've been encompassing the entire movie, and I don't know if people are losing the rights.
No,
or
what happens is people post them, and then it just doesn't get reported for a while.
Oh, well, I've watched some fights like that.
Yeah. So, and it could be that maybe the movie, the movie companies, they're just like, whatever.
What are they going to, it's like, what are we going to do, sue for this movie that everybody probably owns?
Yeah. So sometimes you can catch movies that way, but there are a lot of good options on Hulu and Netflix. I like to put that stuff up, and I use Pandora too because they've got a Halloween party station on Pandora.
You mean Monster Mash on repeat?
Yeah, Monster Mash on repeat. I'll put that on and let that blast while the kiddies are coming up and grabbing their handfuls of candy.
You need to throw in a werewolf bar mitzvah every now and then.
Yeah.
Werewolf bar mitzvah, nice.
I feel like that might have played on the station last year.
Possibility.
It might have.
One-eyed,
It should
one-horn, purple people
It's
eater.
definitely on Spotify. I've listened to it on Spotify.
You always get your Ghostbusters, you get your
Yep.
Thriller,
Yep.
that sort of thing. But they throw in like there's Monster Holiday in there and all that kind of stuff. It's good stuff. But I like doing that kind of thing. Setting up the music. We got the movies playing in the background. Hopefully not naked people on TV.
True. I don't think anything we could do will beat the guy down from me. He had the big screen.
Oh, yeah.
In his garage last year, he had a screen, and the garage was completely dark when you walk up to the house, and you would see these dragon eyes, like staring at you, like huge dragon eyes. And it was one of those, I guess, LED projector things, and it would like jump out at you. And then he had another one in the window that was like ghosts and stuff and people walking by. That one was pretty
Those are
cool.
cool.
And he had a whole graveyard. He's built like a cemetery. He's working on it right now.
Fence.
Cemetery fence. He's built his own little like I don't know, the pylon going into the graveyard or whatever. He's built that with names on it and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. He's put a lot into it. This guy really likes Halloween.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that sounds like a good neighbor.
It is. I've never talked to him.
You know why they have to put
with
fences around
decorations
graveyards?
like that, you don't have to talk to him to know he's awesome.
Hey, don't step on my joke. Why do they put fences around graveyards?
People are dying to get in.
There you go.
Oh, jeez.
Boom.
But
You don't have to be 6 feet under to enjoy our landscapes.
oh god.
I had another one. I passed the graveyard the other day. I had like 2 or 3 dad jokes, and I can't remember. I know that was 2 of them. I can't remember. It was something about pizza and Tombstone.
Hilarious.
What do you want on your tombstone? Pepperoni and cheese.
I remember those commercials.
Yep, I do too. Dang it! Now I want a pepperoni pizza.
I do too. I sent the wife requested. She was wanting to know what I needed from the grocery store, and all one word Tostinos. That's all I need to put. And she put one word no.
Hook it up.
For 10.
Hook it up.
It's always 10 for 10. But yeah, so Ghost Adventures can go to hell, and I mean it's already there. It's show hell, but I don't know that. I just do not get that. It seems like we're missing one. I'm forgetting one of the shows that should be better than the most. Paranormal Witness. Have you watched that one? Yeah. I like to call Unsolved Mysteries the best parts.
Yeah.
All I need is a Robert Stack on there, and that show would be beautiful.
Yeah. They do one, this might be...
What was the one you guys used to watch?
A travel one. Where
I came over a couple times and you guys were watching
there's
something
a guy,
like that.
I can't think of the name of it right now. I could easily Google it. But there's a guy who he investigates urban myth, or not just urban myths, but myths in general. So like he'll go to New Jersey and look for the Jersey Devil.
Oh, okay.
And he goes out to like Wyoming and looks for Sasquatch. And he different places like that. And it's funny, the thing about him is he'll go, like, he's gone to places like South America, he goes to Africa, he goes out onto the, like, open, like, safari kind of areas and sets up these night vision cameras, and they're out there in the jungle, and he's like, are we going to find a monster? I'm like, no, you're going to find a lion or a tiger, and it's going to eat you.
Or a bear.
Yeah, even worse than whatever you're, quote-unquote,
Yeah,
looking for.
there is something to be afraid of out there. It's a wild animal.
Who will maul you?
River Monsters is the one I keep thinking of,
that's
and
a
that's
good
not one of them, but that's definitely one of the bigger things. If you guys are looking to really be like creeped out, I'm going to plug this one podcast because it's not really a podcast per se. It's called the No Sleep Podcast. I don't know if I mentioned this before. It's basically on Reddit. Good.
Reddit.
God. Reddit. On Reddit, they have this forum, and it's No Sleep, and it's people submit these just horrifying ghost, paranormal, killer / just really scary stories on there. Well, this podcast has a couple voice actors, and they read these stories in narration, and it's really, really good. I've been creeped out at work before. I'm like, yeah, I can't do this anymore for a little bit. And usually nothing really gets to me, but man, there was some on there that are like, bleh. Bleh. Yeah, bleh.
The show that I was talking about is called Expedition Unknown.
Oh, yeah, I love
Josh
that guy.
Gates.
I love Josh Gates. I follow him on Twitter. He's funny.
Yeah. He's a funny guy.
He went
but
to,
he goes to legitimate dangerous
yes,
places
he
where
does.
there are things that will kill you. They're not mythological.
Is it Turkey? No. I don't know. We're Euros big. Greece. He was in there in like some underground chamber because they had found something that was relating to Jesus or Ark of the Covenant. I don't remember. Anyway, but he had to get special permission. He was talking about all these things, these hoops he had to jump through just to go down there. And but the majority of the show was him getting people in Greece to pronounce euros, and he couldn't get a confident answer. Like people were like, "Oh, euros," and then one person would be euros, and he's like, "Nope, that's not the same thing." He went around just like started crowdsourcing, but the other part of it was, he does fun things like that, and then he'll go in some pit of hell to find a stone with a marking on it that looks like a bunny rabbit or something. I don't know, what he's looking for half the time, but yeah, I really like that guy.
You can always ask YouTube for pronunciation help.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Euro.
That's how you say it.
They said euros, and
Euro.
they put the S on it.
Euros. Well, it's multiple.
Yeah.
Pluralized.
Euros. Euro. I did not say that when we went to Greek Fest, though. I said, give me one of them gyros.
Gyros.
Yep,
Give me one of them gyros. Actually, I don't say anything because you know how I pronounce words anyway, so.
Yeah, and you have very little social skills. You just point and grunt. It's weird whenever we go out with it.
It's
That's
hard at movie
disturbing.
theaters. It really is.
Yeah, we always miss the previews because Matt just can't say a cherry Coke, please.
That's what I say. Cherry.
Chad Cobb.
I don't have to now at Regal. You get it yourself.
You do. AMC does it too.
Oh, are they get it yourselves now? Yeah. I like the get it yourselves.
You know those freestyle machines? You got to love the freestyle machines. Bringing back the suicides.
That they do. And don't forget, you can put vanilla or cherry in anything.
You can.
In anything.
Everything.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Can does not equal should, but it happens.
As we illustrated before, cherry Dr. Pepper is null and void. It's
No,
the
it's
same.
just-
You're
just
just putting
Dr.
more
Pepper.
cherry in the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're throwing off the balance of the 23 famous flavors.
So I think we've come to the point of the show where we're either going to just ramble on forever, or I should refer back to our.
No, we're definitely at that point.
Oh yeah, I've already said Ghost Adventures sucks ass. So we can move on.
So last week we asked. We didn't put out a Twitter poll. We didn't do a no pants poll. We didn't do a no shirt shout out. What we did instead was we said go out to the forum and sign up, and we will basically download all the new members, make a list, do a random number, and from that population, that's how we would pick our comic book winners. I am very sad to report that you all did not do that.
Losers.
Yeah. And I don't know what your problem is, but I'm going to send
You're gonna
Kevin Hart
straighten it up.
to your house. And
He's going to eat all your food and work out and really annoy your kneecaps.
if you're looking out the peephole, you're not going to be able to see him. You're going to have to.
God.
You'll just have to look for the shadowy footsteps under the door.
It's basically going to be like a Keebler elf is at your
And
door.
if you have a doggy door, he's already in.
He's coming in the doggy door.
God.
Anyway, so that didn't work out too well for us. We do have, Andrew and Thomas are signed up. There are OG forum members. We're going to find a reward to give to you guys for being that. But I'm not just going to pick between the two of you and give you an e-comic because you
It's
have.
not fair.
Yeah, and you guys have won a few times. So we'll find something else. Maybe we'll be able to pull some Nerd News Cafe swag and send something your way.
Maybe
So-
for Andrew, we can give him how to spell my name. Starts with L. There's a couple more letters, buddy.
Don't trash the Andrew review. So,
He started it.
but anyway, we still want you
Did
guys.
he?
We still want you guys to go out there. So we're still going to ask you to go out and sign up. But this week we're going to do something a little different. With it being Halloween, we're going to put out the question of, here's you can do several different things. One would be what are you going to be this year? What's your Halloween costume? What nerdy character are you going to play? Or what is your favorite Halloween costume you've ever worn? And it could be cosplay too, just outside of the Halloween. We were debating on cosplay feels like that's outside of Halloween. On Halloween, it's just Halloween, right? Fancy dress.
Everybody's cosplay.
So what character have you dressed up as? What's your favorite costume, or what are you going to be this year? We'll ask you that, and ask you to retweet the question. We'll ask you to be a follower. We ask you to reply, and if you do those 3 items, then you will be eligible to win an e-comic of my choosing next week on Halloween week.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be after Halloween, but Halloween
It'll
week
be after Halloween.
that you win.
You'll get to cherish that moment just a little longer.
Because you'll still you'll hear this on Thursday. You'll reply by the time. The poll will be closed, but you won't know who the winner is till after Halloween. It'll be fine. It'll all work out. Just trust us on this one.
Trust the process.
Yeah,
That's right.
but that's all I got. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm out of words for the day.
Out of words for the day. That's
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
What, y'all don't have a costume you wanna talk about?
I'm gonna go as myself because I feel like in my office that cute wins every year, and I'm not cute, nor will I ever be. cute.
You have, as you can see on our website, Matt has done Superman in the past.
I have done Superman. I have done Punisher.
You've done Rick from Walking Dead.
I did Rick from Walking Dead. I did 1920s gangster that I was trying to attribute to Gangster Squad, which did not work out. No one saw that movie except for me. And I think that's all I've done currently. Yeah, I dumped out after that because I just feel like strawberry shortcake, which was somebody wearing a dress and had a hat on one year, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I've had something similar happen to that. I went to a bar Halloween costume contest, and like me and a couple people like put some work into costumes. That was when I started like doing the Beast. So there I was, blue face paint in a bar, and some dude in a dress wins because it's funny. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Who's done that? No one's ever been a cross-dressing man before.
I know, right? Yeah.
There was
But I'm going to mention Duffman. I went as Duffman
You did.
to a company Halloween party. That was fun.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Then I went as the dude as well, and then also the Beast and stuff.
I've done Michelangelo because our team was the Ninja Turtles one year.
Oh, I was going to say the painter.
Yeah, I went as the classical painter. I have done The Matrix. That was fun because we basically just all dressed in kind of futuristic, goth-looking cyber.
Yeah, I did.
hacker
I did go to a
clothes.
club as a SWAT team member one time because I had a shirt that said SWAT.
And I've done well. This wasn't for work, but a couple of years ago, Sam she did her take on Han Solo,
Yes.
and I was just a Sith, and that one was pretty good. I got to threaten kids with a lightsaber, so that was fun.
That's good.
And that is your dream.
It really is.
What else have I been? I've been a vampire, of course. You always had somebody. You've always been a vampire at some point in time in your life.
Factually correct.
I'm trying to think. It seemed like there's one I'm missing here. I still remember one from when I was a small kid. Do you remember the Centurions?
No.
Look it up. It's a great cartoon. It's like Mask.
Okay,
Um,
not familiar.
yeah, that was one of my favorites. The Mask was terrible, but
I've also been Malcolm Reynolds. That might
yeah.
be making a comeback this year. And I was Dimebag Daryl one year. That was a lot of fun.
nice.
So when I had my really long hair, I dyed my goatee pink, and I wore a camo shorts and a Master of Puppets shirt with the sleeves cut off. It was awesome.
Nice. I think my daughter's boyfriend and his dad are going as Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have a feeling we're
That's
going to be
pretty
seeing
good.
a lot of Ricks this year.
I was actually when my son was still debating on what he wanted to be, I wanted to convince him to dress as David S. Pumpkins, and then me and Sam could be the skeletons, his backup dancers.
You
That
just
would
need a
be
little
good.
music to play all the time.
Yeah. Any questions?
They open the door and the music just plays.
That's what
Like,
I wanted
okay,
to do.
you need to make your son be David S. Pumpkins. This is the
Yeah.
point where you as a father need to step up, Jay. Come
I
on.
don't know.
Yeah. You need to step in there and say, look, you're not making the right life choice right now.
Exactly. Take away his Halloween so you can have a Halloween.
It would be pretty fun.
Just for this neighborhood, though.
Well, anyway, we want to hear from you all. Tell us about your favorite costumes or what you're going to be or what your plans are, and if you got pictures, even better, share those too. So
Yep. We got a forum that you can post them at.
you can post them anywhere. You can post them on Twitter. You can post them on the Facebook fan page. You can post them on the website or send them to our Gmail if you want to do that. nerdnewscafe@gmail.com.
Yep.
All that stuff.
We will relish in them and then post them on everything else you didn't post them on.
We would do it.
So don't send anything you don't want everybody else to see.
Nope. Because it will go viral. No, it won't. Who are we kidding? Nothing's going to go viral with us.
Nah, never. It could. I think we could make something go viral, but it would take a lot more of our.
No, as we
effort.
talked about last week, you can't make a cult movie and
Oh,
you
true,
can't make
true.
something viral.
True.
It just happens.
Well, we seem to be in the I guess the river of knowledge because I've noticed a lot of articles come out after our show. Just saying.
I had a counterpoint, by the way, to the you can't make a cult movie. I think Sharknado is an example of one they did on purpose, and I enjoyed the first one. It's ridiculous and funny.
I don't think that I there's a part of me that thinks that they didn't intend for it to be that.
Oh,
though.
they did. How could you say when the end of it is the
Okay.
dude diving through a shark's mouth with a
Let's-
chainsaw and coming out the other end?
True. Okay, then let's think about all the pitching they've done before that because we've had Anaconda versus Boa Constrictor,
I was just about to say.
insert spider,
Yeah.
or insert bug, insert reptile, and then we've had numerous like huge disaster movies they've done, and then they've done some
Just any sci-fi original.
yeah,
really.
just anything. So
They're usually bad, but I think Sharknado
that's like
worked out.
1,000. They're batting like
I agree.
.001 at this point.
I agree. I agree.
Well below the Mendoza line.
Oh, absolutely. I don't even know who he is.
All right. You all plug some stuff.
Fine. If you guys are still interested in Star Trek Discovery, because we are, me and Thomas look it over, watch it, review it, speak upon it, laugh upon it, enjoy, cry, and emotionally tear it down. If you're interested in any of those kind of things that we do on a podcast, you can listen to us at Trekking Trek Podcast, and you can hit us up on Twitter at Trekking Trek Pod.
Nice. Landon.
Twitter.com/Landoz, Landoz. That's where you can find the latest musings from me, 140 characters at a time. I also run a website, buttmunchchips.com. Buttmunchchips.
Sit on your butt.
Munch.
That's where you can find the exclusively posted podcast, Game of Thrones Talk, a.k.a. Got Talk, where myself and Hunter East break down episode by episode of HBO's award-winning series, Game of Thrones. We have the full run of Season 7. And in the meantime, while we wait for Game of Thrones to come back, we have the Butt Munch Chips Variety Pack, which is more of a conversation podcast. The most recent episode we've had posted was about video games, how we got here, and where we would like to see games go in the future. So check that out. And again, it's posted exclusively at buttmunchchips.com. Butt Munch Chips.
Sit on your butt.
And munch.
There you go. Jay, anything to plug on the way out?
Who typed a question mark on the teleprompter? At the Croots is my Twitter.
He'll read anything.
I will.
Read anything?
I lied to everybody. I had no idea what my Twitter was for a long time. I had to actually look it up the other day for somebody. It's at Matt Weaver 4 because there were
You're the
3
fourth.
other previous.
3 other Matt Weavers.
Yep,
May the 4th Matt Weaver be with
that's right. Always remember 4 is a box.
you. 4 horsemen. I'm holding
4
up the 4 right now. Can't see
Exactly. Well, this one's for you, Arn. So for the 4th Matt Weaver and the 2nd Justin Krutzinger, I am the one and only Landon Doan. We thank you for joining us on another edition of Nerd News Cafe. Stir it up. You've been great. We've been Nerd News. Good night.
it. Good night.